Shabbat Shalom. Just a few minutes ago, we celebrated the Ufruf of Sydney and Noah. So let me give you some marital advice. Because what is a senior rabbi to a cantorial intern if not a font of constant feedback, criticism, counsel, and once or twice, kind words. So I'm going to build on what Rabbi Zuckerman said, because he correctly pointed out that the Parsha is called Kedoshim, and Sydney and Noah will be standing underneath the chuppah of Kiddushin, right? The same word, and at the epicenter of the Torah reading, as our B'nai Mitzvah know, stands one of the most famous verses of all. At the center of Kedusha is Ahava, is love. And the verse specifically, which many of us may be familiar with, is don't take vengeance or bear a grudge against your countrymen. And then it says, Ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha ani Adonai. Love your fellow as yourself. So don't take vengeance or bear a grudge against a countryman. Love your fellow, love your neighbor, depending on how you translate it, as yourself. I am the Lord. So somehow, Sydney and Noah, this verse, this famous verse, to love your neighbor as yourself, is the key to Kedusha. So what can it, and we make a big simus over it, right? That Rabbi Akiva says it's a klal gadol, that this is the most important verse. When Hillel is approached by the would-be Jew, he actually flips the grammar of it, but he says that which is hateful to you, don't do to someone else. So why would it be that to love your neighbor as yourself is the key to a happy marriage? Is the key to a happy relationship? What's the meaning? This is a good moment to ask you, and I'll repeat it for people at home. What does it mean to love your neighbor as yourself, and why is it so darn important? What does it mean? What would be some of the explanations? I mean, there are literally dozens of them. I can start off. It's not a shy crowd. Yes?
Being a giver.
Being a giver. Beautiful, thank you. So you have to give of yourself to that person. Yes, good. Who else? Yes, Elaine.
Peace.
Peace. To seek peace. So somehow in that sort of dialogic relationship of loving your neighbor as yourself, loving your fellow as yourself, right? There's a notion, why is it tied into vengeance? Because to truly love someone as yourself, you have to be able to forgive that person. Another explanation is that it ends with Ani Hashem, that you have to love someone, reminding yourself that they are created in the image of God, no different than you, that's what it means to love your neighbor as yourself. There's another explanation which is more sort of psychologically oriented, that in order to be able to be in love with someone, you have to be comfortable within your own skin. And until you love yourself, you can't love another person. So there are gorgeous, Dr. Ruth, I didn't realize you were here in the room, but it just so happens that I'm talking about love. It's bad timing on my part. Love your neighbor as yourself. Anything you want to say? Okay. Of course, I picked this Shabbos to talk about love. Any other explanations? Yes, Dr. Ruth. Yes. Love your neighbor. It's as simple as that. And Shabbat Shalom. So, all of these explanations, Sydney and Noah, let me tell you the most important thing. It is terrible marriage advice. I want you to remember this. You won't remember what the rabbi says to you under the chuppah, but remember this. You cannot love each other as you love yourself. Some 20 plus years into a terrific marriage, right? I can tell you categorically that the things that I need in life are not the things that Debbie needs in life. And that if I were to love Debbie as I want to be loved, this marriage would not be around. I am totally comfortable going to sleep with the door of the closet open. I am totally comfortable going to sleep with dishes in the sink. I am totally comfortable with reading an iPad in bed, right? There are many, many things, too long to list, that I'm cool with. But Debbie's not. And so too the other way. You cannot love someone, forgive someone otherwise as you want to be. You have to love that person as they want to be loved. And forgive this person as they want to be forgiven, and be patient with that person as they consider patience. That is the key, because if it is, as Elaine pointed out, that what we're trying to create is shalom bayit, then that can only happen with an overflow of empathy, of not thinking of what my needs are, but thinking what the other needs are. And that actually, whether you're celebrating an Ofruf or not, is exactly what Shabbat is about. To, for a moment in time, to set aside how we look at the world, and to consider how those people with whom we seek to be in sacred relation, how they see the world, and to treat them not as we want to be treated, but as they want to be treated, and in doing so, to create shalom in this world. We turn to Hashkivenu, which can be found in our Sidurim.